How's it going, everyone? Today we are back with another reaction. This time, this video is by Sunny. It's called Why Chris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for Mr. Beast. Almost everyone knows Chris from Mr. Beast's video. So, I don't know, this video might be a conspiracy theory or something, or maybe something controversial. Let's just dive into it.
The Chris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for MrBeast's brand. However, it may also provide some unique benefits. So let's begin by going over the drama before explaining exactly how this will impact the MrBeast channel. In mid-2022, fans began to notice that Chris Tyson was changing. In the early days, he represented the quintessential southern gun and truck loving dude.
Yeah.
Yet beginning in March 2022, Chris began to display increasingly feminine traits, making
When
tweets
was
such as "I finally
when was this happening?
got my nails
I
done"
never
and
knew
nail
about
tech.
this.
Additionally, Chris would highlight that his facial appearance had changed significantly since the start
I
of the
mean, he
pandemic,
just
which accompanied another post reading,
wanted to
"Okay, so
look,
4 different customs I
he just wanted to look younger, I think. Okay, so info, I'll let you read it.
had to prove I was myself because I quote look nothing like my passport pic, so much that I'm considering updating my passport. Do you see any resemblance?" Prompting
Yeah,
replies such
somewhat.
as "You went from man to boy." Chris responded by stating, "Nah, to be honest, I just really started taking my mental health
Oh, his
seriously
mental
and
health
eating
went
better."
down.
Yet his Twitter photos kept insinuating that Chris was becoming more feminine, with this same kind of look showing up in his MrBeast appearances. For
Yeah,
example, on the
in the
6th of
previous
January
video too.
2023, Beast Reacts uploaded a video titled "I strapped a GoPro to a fish," in which Chris dressed in a way that prompted comments such as, "Chris has been adopting more and more traits that remind me of my grandmother."
That's a
Okay, so
roast.
some people just gonna ignore Chris's nails? Chris had to have lost a bet. The look is getting wild. The response to the video then prompted countless viral TikToks, such as this one with 700,000 likes, stating, "How did Chris go from this to this?" While others even made the claim that Carl had turned him gay. Now, this was pretty ridiculous, as Carl
So
isn't even
Carl,
feminine, and Chris had come out as bisexual
so Carl is the culprit in this video.
years before he and Carl had even met. The true catalyst for Chris Tyson's feminization
I'm
instead
just
seemed to have
joking.
come from his marriage. In January 2022, Chris would post a photo with his wife to his Instagram, yet after
This
this, the
man is
family
married
photos
and has a
stopped
kid,
altogether. Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding
and
ring,
yet
with the ring's
he
absence
wants.
correlating perfectly with the very first post in
How
which he
can I
painted
say
his
this?
nails. Chris confirmed the split
I
in a
won't
post
say
from
it.
March 2023 reading, "For a little over a year now, me and Katie have been separated," with this also confirming that Chris's transformation began as soon as his marriage came to an end. Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails. As the criticism continued to pile, Chris announced that he'd be taking a break from social media. And while there was a possibility that Chris would make efforts to
Why
return
do
to his former
famous
self,
people
he'd rather
do
do the
these
opposite
kind
and
of
double
things?
down on his feminine
So
image, going
cringy.
up to the Kids' Choice Awards looking like this before making the announcement that he'd been doing HRT for approximately 2 months,
What is
which according
HRT?
to a quick Google search is the medical process for changing genders. Chris would expand on this by stating, "Informed consent HRT saved my and many others' lives. The hurdles GNC
This
people
video
have to
is
jump
getting
through to get
darker and
life-saving
darker
gender-affirming
by
healthcare in a
each
first world
passing
country is
second.
wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies," which received a positive response from both Carl and MrBeast, who wrote, "Got you, I did one more heart than Carl because I'm a better friend." While his co-workers expressed positivity,
That's
others
not
didn't so
being
welcoming.
friends.
There
That
goes a
is
father
being
figure the kid won't ever
giving
be able to look up to.
bad
Hard times
advice.
create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times, weak man times. Chris responded to this comment by stating, "This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids. Tucker begs for me to come back when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is so loved and happy. Kids aren't born with hate, it's taught by people like you, and my child will only know love."
You are traumatizing your child, man. Is
I know I'm
Let's
going to be
continue.
a great parent, and so is every other person who puts the love of their child before everything. I made this decision because I wanted to show up as my best and
This is
happiest
so
self.
messed up.
In a way, this was for Tucker. Chris's response received some positivity, such as, "I'm convinced you're an amazing..."
I'm feeling bad about this since I have, I watched the Mr. Beast video so much that we are, you know, like a family to Chris and all these people. However, these acts. Now look at this comment. It says, "I am convinced you are an amazing father." How will he be a father? He will. You know what I'm trying to say.
Amazing father. Tucker is lucky to have you and also lucky to have all of those who surround and support you in his life. As well as I adore that, I'm glad
By the way, don't get mad at me. I'm just giving my thoughts,
you made that decision. It's so
which
much
I am allowed to have an opinion of myself.
easier to be a parental figure when you're not struggling with dysphoria, yet he'd also receive an equal amount of backlash. You ripped apart your family and took a father figure away from your son just so you could paint your nails and
Yeah,
act zesty. Pathetic. He will
pathetic,
get
true.
torn apart at school, won't want to have friends around his
Yeah,
house. A
yeah,
life
you're
full of
going to get
difference
him
and being
depressed,
alone.
Chris.
Must have missed the point in that tweet. How's this for him when you're depriving him of a father figure? Although Chris wasn't altered by these comments, as he'd once again reiterate his certainty in a new post reading, "It's never too late to start being yourself," which received praise from MrBeast as well as Nolan and Carl. However, these comments also added extra fuel to the fire. In a few years, look back at this thread and remember they were never your friends.
Yeah, only
Yes
yes
men
meant.
cowards.
That's true because the people that are with you, your companions or your friends, they would think better for you, not support you in every mistake, every blunder, or anything you can think about. That's not called support. It's called being a yes man, which this comment is true in a sense.
Hope you come out of this safe. MrBeast responded to this with a simple opinion irrelevant ratio, to which
Mr.
the
Beast,
original
man, what are you
commenter would
doing
state, "I
with
have
your
30
life?
followers, so go ahead and ratio me. I'll still rest easy knowing that I'm not a coward who
Yeah,
idly sits by watching my friend ruin his own life."
yeah,
In some ways, it was nice to see the boys standing up for Chris on Twitter. However, the situation has already begun to change the dynamic within the videos. For example, in a recent live stream titled "Opening 1,000 Mystery Art Boxes,"
of course you will get hate. Children watch you. What think about them? Brainwashing everyone.
Chris would once again dress in quite a feminine way, and while everybody participated as usual, the energy and vibe didn't feel nearly as smooth as it normally
This
does. It
is the
felt as though
most
there was an
disturbing
unaddressed
video right
elephant in
now.
the
Uh,
room, and therefore everybody was in their head as opposed to being in the present moment enjoying each other's company. Maybe everybody was simply too busy opening packages, but Chris did make these bizarre jokes about Jimmy being female, making him incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh
Yeah,
my god, Jimmy, look, they drew you. Jimmy, they drew you so well.
is that Erza from Fairy Tale anime?
Like,
Oh yes.
oh my god, it's Jimmy.
How did fan art? This is what we were looking for. Be brave, be honest, be kind, Mr. Beast. That is my tagline.
Becoming even weirder when each member started to pay each other compliments.
Hey, nice shirt. Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Hey, nice shirt.
Thanks, dude. Nice shirt.
Thanks. Nice shirt.
Nice shoes.
For the most part, the live stream was devoid of awkward moments. However, it would act as fodder for another 100 million views worth of drama and criticism. Chris likely believes that people will slowly
Andrew
adapt to
Tate,
new
we need you,
behaviors over
man.
time, but
Save
is
this
really
man
going to
from
happen?
destroying
Well,
himself.
maybe. It's difficult to say as the situation is fairly unique, especially when considering Chris's reputation and influence. However, if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first
Yeah.
place? Perhaps the opposite will happen, and he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with the current MrBeast audience. This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't
Queer kids.
necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended, and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video. On top of this, it can be uncomfortable and unrelatable for the silent majority, although as
Yeah.
we have seen, a situation like Chris's does have the potential to create an otherworldly amount of discussion, which could be seen as a benefit for the MrBeast brand.
Drama is good for growth, 100%. That would be an easy way to up my
So
views
you're
if
a
I got it.
Keemstar
Bro.
The problem is, this type of situation is probably the last thing that MrBeast wants to attract, as he's forced to agree with Chris's position. As he
Yeah,
has no
the
way
threat of
manipulating
being cancelled is already there. I mean, anyone who is trying to talk about this shit talk against this shit is getting cancelled. So Jimmy is trying to be silent as much as he can.
Situation without being painted as the bad guy. It's a lose-lose situation for MrBeast. I think Jimmy is in an inescapable situation. If he kicks out Chris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real. An inescapable situation is a pretty good way of describing the drama.
This title suits so well why Chris will soon be a nightmare for Jimmy, Mr. Beast. This is the reason.
Why it deserves the harsh label of being a nightmare. Jimmy has no option but to publicly express acceptance of Chris's transition, as silence or even worse, disapproval would
Imagine the biggest creator on YouTube right now is in a trap.
Repercussions. However, in accepting Chris's transition, Jimmy implies that this will be the new normal within the content, thus annoying a different group of people, many of whom will never express their true feelings and may rather simply click on fewer MrBeast videos. If this is the case, Jimmy has no option but to accept this fate, as removing Chris from the videos in any kind of way could create an even more severe media firestorm. The only clean solution, should things go south, might be for Chris to resign himself, and even then rumors and bad press will be unavoidable. Whether it be arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact Jimmy, forgetting that he achieved his current level of success by avoiding this exact type of drama.
First of all, I did not know about these things happening. And secondly, this is truly a nightmare, not only for MrBeast, but for Chris's family. He has children, I believe. I don't know how many, I forgot. Maybe a son or something. Think about them, Chris. You're going to ruin a lot of people's lives. So that's it for the video. That's my thoughts. Take care, I guess. I'll see you in next video. Bye bye.